Hey, what's up everyone? I know, a long time since I've done a video, but just been busy doing other things and concentrating on the other channel more than this one, and I need to start concentrating on this channel a little bit more. Today we need to change a sprocket on a John Deere CS62. Now, a lot of these John Deere's chainsaws are Efcos, but this particular CS62 is an Efco, EFCO, Efco 962. Alright, he gave it to me and told me he needed a new sprocket on it for driving the chain. Okay, no problem. So I hurried up, and when I got it home I went and looked it up and found out that this is a Efco, not an Echo, and the only sprocket available are in Greece and Italy, about 60 bucks. So I thought, okay, well, I better take a look at this before I decide what the hell I'm going to do. Well, this is a rim sprocket, and I guess he does need a new one because there isn't one on it at all. So I don't know if somebody else has been in here and stole the rim off of it, and then he got the saw, and you know, yada yada. It just kind of back and forth. Who the hell knows? You know, I don't know any history on this saw except that it came from a tree farm, and he ended up with it when he bought out a whole bunch of stuff from this tree farm, and he got a truckload of chainsaws, some Husqvarnas and Johnson Reds, and this thing was in there, and some homely lights. So we need to take this off and see if I have a rim sprocket for it instead of a spur. The spur sprocket is the one where the, you know, here's what I ordered for an Echo, about this size, same cubic inch. That's a spur. Spur is all one piece. You cannot change the rim, and it may work, but further looking at this, it looks like that the sprocket itself drives the oiler like on the Steels, so that's out of the question. But I do have some rims. I also had this one over in the shop. This is a kind of old stock, you know, and you can see that's what it should look like, and we will find out when we take it apart. And see, this one doesn't drive the oiler, which I'm pretty sure this one, that sprocket itself, the clutch drum itself, drives the oiler. So I'm going to get you set up, and I'm going to show you how I change them, and this is the easiest way I have found to change them out. So give me a minute, get the tripod set up, and we'll get to work and get to wrenching. I figured it would have been a spur, because most of the homeowner saws and that all had spur sprockets on them and not rim. So this one must have been sold as a professional style. It almost looks like a Husqvarna. Alright, well, the plug, God, that looks like a 5/8. Yep, that's a little itty bitty bugger. Alright, now, why I am, oh God, taking out the spark plug. Let me take a look at this. RDJ7Y. That is the wrong spark plug for in here too. Should have a CJ8 or CJ6. Alright, now why I took the spark plug out is because I have a piston stop. What we do is we screw the piston stop down in here, and now we can lock that in position to take this off. Now mind you, this is reverse thread. Usually it's marked right here on the nut telling you which way off. So it's lefty. Oh, somebody's been in there. Yeah, that's already loose. So I think somebody took that off on purpose because they needed it. That bearing's crap too. Got one needle missing out of the bearing. Let me get you. You can see there's a bearing there. One needle missing out of that bearing cage. And I probably do not have it. I think this one, yeah, it's not removable, and that one's way too big anyway. But you can see this clutch drum drives the oiler. And that's awful small. Yep. That's what I was afraid of. Thinking Efco's. And those are the only rim sprockets I have here. Now I'm gonna have to see what I have to do to get the right rim sprocket. Alright, I went over in my stash and found a bearing. That one, we're missing a needle on that one, and got a new one here. So we got a new bearing. We'll get that. And I located my new rim sprockets. I'll put a little snot on there. Bearing. New bearings are usually kind of a little dry. I'll do it. Nice stringy. Okay, and my rims, these are 325, which I looked it up, and that's what this saw originally had, was 325. And see, that's the small center. So we got, this is a 7. I think that's a 7. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7. I guess you'd call it a tooth sprocket. Get lined up. Washer. Remember, reverse thread. Now it's a little trickier tightening these up with the piston lock. Because if you're not hitting the piston lock, you're hitting the recoil and you don't want to hit the recoil. So what we'll do is we'll just turn this, go over top dead center, and just start sending it back down. So when we tighten it up, the clutch just starts moving, so we won't be up against the recoil. Oops. We need 3/4. These are reverse thread because when the chain is moving, when the motor's running, or engine's running, excuse me, when the engine's running, it's turning this way, and they don't have a tendency to want to loosen up the clutch. So these are all reverse. And we're good there. Now we need a bar and chain. Here's the needle that came out of that bearing. You could have put it back in, but that bearing is done. It's good to change them, because when you get a new clutch drum, you get a new. And let's see, that's a RDJ7Y, which is normally a weed eater spark plug, because that has the flat surface for the washer, and that's tapered for like in a weed eater. So we're going to change that plug out. Let me go get a plug. Alright, I got a Megafire here. This is an SEY7C, which is a CJ7, which should be what goes in this. If not, we're going to find out real quick here. Nope. It fits. If it fits, it ships. Alright, bar and chain. We need a bar and chain. Let's get you with your nose up a little bit. Alright, he said this is the one that was on there. So, what we need to do is make sure that the oiler lines up with the oil hole. And we can do it this way. And that's too hard to tell for me. I can't see back in there real good, so we'll cheat a little bit. We'll take our mount plate here. Get off there. And we'll flip this over. And you can see that the oiler lines up with the hole on our bar, which is right there. So the oil correctly. I'll get you back up here. Three, 2, 5. Boy, that chain looks like crap. I think somebody hit something bad with that. Let's make sure everything's going to line up first here, and then we'll see about a chain. See if they got the right length chain. Yep, that'll work. Turn the bar over because there's some wear on the top side of that bar. This looks fairly new, but we'll turn it over. Alright, now I need to look about every other tooth or so is peened over. That one. May have to let him worry about sharpening it, because right at the moment I can't get out my sharpener. I wonder if I have another chain. He sent me a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of chains and that. And let's see, is this I think this is an 18 inch bar, so we're gonna 18, let's see, 3, 2, 5. I'm pretty sure that should be a 72 driver chain. And we'll count them. And we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60, 62, 64, 66, 68, 70, 72, 74, 76, 78 drivers. Let me see what he sent with us. Alright, everything he sent was for 18-inch bar, and we got a 20 here. Only one side of this chain is peened. I call it peened because that's what it looks like. Looks like something. They hit a stone on one side and just kind of peened the point over. And let's see, nobody's touched. Yeah, those rakers are down just a a tad. I'm going to take this over and put this on the grinder, and I'll check the rakers, make sure they're not too low, because we have a Husqvarna to look at, 257, that looks like somebody was going to try and cut pulpwood because they cut the rakers completely off of that chain, or they thought that was how you were supposed to sharpen it. Don't know. When we put that one up on here, we'll take a look at it and see. I may have to make up a new chain for that one and check the bar. So I'm going to take this over. I'd take you over and you could watch me grind a chain, but I don't have... it's just so cluttered in my old shop that there's probably only going to be a little pathway for me to get to my grinder and that. So one of these days I'll get straightened up over there and I'll take you over and I'll show you me grinding a chain, sharpening a chain too. So hang in there, we're getting there. Alright, I didn't have to take off too much, and I could have taken off a little bit more, but this guy is just cutting firewood. He's not a logger, and so I don't have to cut him back as far as I normally do for the loggers. Looks good. Kind of nice sharp. This is a chisel chain, if you're not familiar. A chisel chain has just a nice square point on it. Your semi-chisel out here will be rounded. That'll be semi-chisel. This is chisel. This is more for professional use. Semi-chisel you use a lot on soft woods and that. And then there's skip and full skip chain. This is neither of those two. This is a full chain. Skip would be there would be a missing tooth. You'd have one side, and then the other side would be here, and then so on. So there'd be a small gap in between the two teeth. Then you have full skip, which there'd be two gaps. And a lot of the loggers like using the skip and full skip because it's a lot easier and quicker to sharpen a chain. You know, those guys go through chains. They'll go through, you know, a chain a day logging. And they're always on the stump filing and sharpening chains, because the quicker you can get out there and cut a tree down, the more money you make, because most of those guys work piecework. And if you're not familiar with piecework is you get paid by the number of trees you fell, and guys by the hour, you know. Okay, well, you get paid hourly. But most of these guys are all on piecework. So the more logs you put down on the ground and have them ready to go to the landing, the more money you make. Rule of thumb on tightening chains is if you can pull up the chain and see the whole tooth, you're tight enough. This bar is just a little sloppy in the hole. And that's good. New chain, you'll be, you know, stretch out to nothing. You'll be tightening it about every third cut on a new chain. Yes, I have slipped and taken big chunks out of my fingers. Alright, yeah, so that's It's going to do it for this one. This saw runs. I don't need to start it or nothing. He started it, showed me it runs, so I'm not even going to screw with it. I don't have the time to keep looking, you know, and going out and playing around with this. You know, I know it runs. He started it for me. He just needed the sprocket taken care of and the bar and chain put on it with a sharp chain. Well, it's got a sharp chain and it's got a new rim sprocket on it. So that's how I change a rim sprocket. And next time we need to sharpen a chain, I think I got enough room over there. I'm going to take you over and I'm going to show you how I grind a chain and sharpen it. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you on the next one. And if you like this type of content, like my videos, hey, thumbs up and give me a comment. I know there's a lot of people out there that are going to comment that they don't like what I'm doing. Oh well. Okay, till next time, I hope to see you on the next video. Everybody, have a great day, great week. See ya.